Thanks, and great to have a bit of exercise here. I think it fits perfectly for the Suunto topic. So, good afternoon, guys. Great to be here with you, and it's been great to hear all these presentations. I think one of the best things about being a designer is that you're not just allowed, but you kind of mandatorily have to learn new things and angles. And I think today what I will talk to you about is how we actually take transformation in also the sports business and how we take Suunto forward. Now, my name is, by the way, Antti Esteposeida. I'm a leading design and user experience at Suunto, and I have a great team of, now we have 15 creative people at Suunto, so quite an excellent team and great to work with. Suunto was founded in 1936 by Thomas Wohlin, so we're actually having our 80th birthday this year. And Thomas was an engineer and an avid orienteer. He had a problem in the 30s. The compasses at the time were not accurate enough. So he actually set out to do the best compass in the world, got a lot of patents for that, and Suunto was founded. And I think this spirit of always striving for the best is actually what's still driving the guys up in Tammisto going forward. But let's look at the little video of what Suunto is about today, and let's see if we have the sound.
When we are children, we want to discover things, we want to investigate, to explore all the time. When we grow up, we lost that need to explore. The sports I practice, I can keep being a kid in this way.
I think adventure is a mindset. The reason that we're curious and we like to explore so much is that we're smart enough to understand that we don't know. But that's being human, I think, is just to keep going one step further.
It's not a matter of me trying to beat everyone else. It's more trying to push myself as hard as possible to win.
I want to know what's around the next corner. I guess there's always a next corner for anyone that wants to explore.
I think exploring it's human. It's discovering different things. You discover yourself. We need to find the kid that we have inside and to keep exploring.
All right. So we at Suunto, we believe that our purpose as a brand is to inspire everyone to lead an active and adventurous life. We believe that this is something we stand up for, and it also ignites people to go forward. And we are quite unique that we truly have a solution from the highest mountaintop to the deepest ocean. Now, where do we come from? It's like Suunto has been known for years for the product design and products and their design. We know that design is actually a competitive edge for us. We study that, we listen to our customers, so we know that a big part of our business is coming from selling, actually the business is coming from selling the watches. We have won a lot of design awards. We've been selling millions of sports watches and diving computers over the years, and we'll continue to do so. But at the same time, just doing the watches alone, that's not going to be enough. There's quite interesting things happening in the marketplace. And the Solita guys, you already picked up one of my examples. So let's look at what's going on in the sports business. The Under Armour, it's an American company making underpants and some other stuff. They just spent $900 million acquiring MapMyFitness, Endomondo, and MyFitnessPal. $900 million. But 3 companies never made any money. We've been seeing examples of the Apple Watch. I heard a figure a couple of weeks ago that Apple has been selling these watches in China alone somewhere between 500 and 750 million euros, which is, I believe, more than all the smartwatch sales combined in the world up until that end of 2015. So huge numbers. And are there any Nokia guys in the room? Anyone? There's one at least. Let's have a discussion at the break. I might want to do a deal. So Nokia to spend $190 million for purchasing Wittings, a company doing health and activity monitoring devices. There's interesting things that you start looking at these companies. You know, Apple and Wittings, they're doing products, but I think the point is not the products, it's actually the data. So these companies are after gathering data about you. And in order to get the data, it's a mutual kind of relationship. You have to offer an experience in return. You have to offer something meaningful to people so that they are willing to give you your data, because the data is actually, it's got huge value in this business and will continue to be even more so. Where we've been at Suunto already since 2010, when we introduced Suunto Moosecount. There's Kalle actually in the audience, was the original product manager for Moosecount, which is a freely downloadable service that works on both iOS and Android, as well as on your PC and Mac. And this is designed to get most out of your exercises. So if you look a little bit like, what does actually Moosecount do? What does this service do? This is an example from my own account from last July. So this is the Finnish Championship race in Joroinen. I was doing half Ironman. And it's quite capable service. So actually it helps you to build your training plans. It helps you to keep track of your training. It's a perfect training diary. It gives you quite detailed information about your progress, your recovery, and how did your exercise go. So I got 23 different variables there. I even see my recovery time. You go down, you can actually track all of your body statistics to the detail. You can actually hover your pointer around the graphs and you will see exact point on the map, on the route. Where did you have the highest heartbeat or where did you have the highest speed? So very, very capable service and has a lot of users. Now there's one thing that this page doesn't show. And if any of you guys have done half Ironman, I'm not a pro or anything, I'm still learning. But first you swim 2 kilometers, right? And then you cycle for 90 kilometers only to look forward for a half marathon run. And the one thing that you do not want to have in that race is a catastrophic bike failure at 84 kilometers, like I did. And none of this was visible in the pages. And guess who was the kind of the talk point for the next 2 or 3 days after the race? I was not the fastest guy, but I made it. So my spoke broke on my full carbon fiber bike. One single spoke broke, almost rendering my race obsolete. But I managed to push the bike and got the T2 point and did the half marathon, pretty much killing my end time. But what an experience, I made it. And there's nowhere in our service I could talk about that. So we didn't get any airtime for that experience in our own service. Yeah, we were messaging in Facebook and Twitter and whatnot everywhere, but not in Suunto's own channel. So luckily we are fast learners. So what we've done since, we have introduced a live activity feed to our service, which is quite exciting. So I can see that Teemu, this is actually a snapshot from last Sunday. So I can see Teemu from my team has been sailing, looks cool. And is there anyone running Helsinki City Run this weekend? I've been training for that, and I'm relaxing there after my run. It's great to see that Jere from my team is giving me thumbs up. And I can see that Satu from our diving team has been to Ojamo on a test dive. And curious thing is actually happening since I started using this, that I'm actually following more this in my training than the actual statistics, because I can see what Jere or Eero or Teemu, my buddies, are doing for the same race. We can actually compare the feelings and experiences on the race. So this actually has taken a much bigger role than we probably thought in the first place. It's quite interesting. And you start putting this into context where you start looking at what the whole audience of Suunto is doing. So we have a growing fan base, a really active fan base, about 1 million social media users, about 200,000 something Instagram posts. We have 100 million Suunto moves, as we call them, exercises in moves count. We have 15,000 Suunto movies, which is a 3D animation you can make of any of your move in YouTube, etc. So we actually have a pretty lively following. So people actually are willing to share this stuff. And I think if you look at this guy, this is Patrick, he's from Spain. I mean, I don't know Patrick, but he's a super avid Suunto follower, and he's been doing also Ironman. He's got 135 posts. This guy is not really a celebrity, but we want to provide him tools to actually relive this experience. So you can see how people are excited about it. So I think this is actually quite curious that you need to transform from a measurement company, in a sense, into an experience company. But we don't only do this for just the sake of people's good feeling. So this is a snapshot of a secret page. So as we speak, we are developing the next generation of the moves count, ready for release, hopefully soon. And we actually have we invited people, we put out an invite to Facebook that we need volunteers to test it. And we needed 60 people. We put out the invitation. In less than 2 hours, we had 600 people queuing up. So I think that this tells that there's a willingness to really participate, but also it's great for us because we are doing this in co-creation. You can see Teemu there already spotting bugs and correcting them live. And this is also super gratifying for people because they really, really love to be part of this experience. Another interesting example from last week in New York Times, Facebook claims that they have 50 minutes of your day and they want more of it. So they're not happy with just 50 minutes. But the point is that if you read the article, still in New York Times, that there's a clear link between the time that you spend there with the engagement and then the business results. So more time spent, more content browsed, you leave your digital footprint there, Facebook can target you better advertisements. But at the same time also, they have to give you something meaningful in return. Otherwise, if it's just selling ads for you, I mean, you would probably walk away. So it's the whole point of trying to build this engagement with the user. And nowhere else this is actually more important than mobile. And we have realized that now in order to be really successful and evolve and build this relationship with our users, we have to go much, much more mobile. And I know for this audience, it doesn't sound like rocket science, right? Let's go mobile. We have to remember that a lot of these sports measurement kind of things to do with sports services traditionally have been designed for the big screen. So you build you plan your route, or you plan your training plans. You actually check your statistics in detail. And they're all designed for big screen. So I think the big challenge is how we go and make it consumable in the small screen, and also engage people throughout their daily life. A great example, a couple of weeks ago I was visiting our Shanghai offices. China is the leading place right now for the mobile consumption, the mobile experience. This is Vera Chow, one of our customers, fantastic person. She's been running tens of marathons. There's a huge running boom in China. You know, the middle class is getting a bit too wealthy. They're eating more, everyone has cars, so the government wants people to run. And she loves our products. She's wearing a Suunto Ambit and claimed that it makes her look younger, which was great to hear. And at the same time, she's saying that, well, you know, I'm using my mobile 500 times a day, and I really don't want to use my PC when I get back from the work. So that's quite critical, but good feedback. And we're going to do already this year a lot of revamp for the mobile experience. And we're going to start from China. I'm going to run a little overtime here. I'm going to speak that data slide because you guys all know this stuff. I would like to end my presentation for a little challenge and provocation because this is a Digitalist network event. Now, I have a personal problem with the word digital, because I think that the word digital is a bit hostile. It's quite technical. And I feel a bit intimidated because I don't really know how to code. I never coded a single line of JavaScript or Python or anything. I don't even know about that. And at the same time, you start thinking, so what's your analog strategy or your analog business model? I mean, what the hell would that be anyway? So actually, I would like to make a proposal. Let's, instead of the word digital, start thinking about the word networked. Because that starts to sound more human. It actually kind of makes your perspective a bit wider. And this is a networking event. Web is a network. And suddenly you kind of start seeing things a bit more openly. And also, it makes your brand to be more open. As an example, and this will be my 2 last slides. When I was in Shanghai, I wanted to go running because I have to do this half marathon next Saturday. And in Chinese megacity, the air can be really bad. So I was kind of looking outside my 36-floor window. It's like, can I go running? What's the air like? And 5 years ago, I mean, the air quality index thing, Suunto probably would have thinking that, okay, let's put an air quality index sensor in our watches and do everything by ourselves. But of course, what you do today, there's websites and apps. So I went to see 161, unhealthy, but anyway, I went running. It wasn't that long run. And it would be really great if actually, maybe in very near future, this would be a standard feature in Suunto. We just open up API to our own apps. So it's all about networking and the power of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Antti.